Welcome back to High Stakes. Today, we will be discussing the following NFL matches that is happening on Sunday, October 1st, 2023. We will be providing our team, total, and prop picks for the day. Before we get started, please remember to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our videos. If you want access to our premium picks, you can check out our Patreon page. You can find the link to our Patreon page in the description and comment section below. In the upcoming Miami Dolphins versus Buffalo Bills game, both teams have displayed high-scoring offenses in the NFL this season. However, when we analyze the 6 different teams they've faced so far, only the Chargers are ranked in the top half of the NFL's power rankings. Miami managed to defeat the Chargers in Week 1 with a score of 36-34, gaining an impressive 536 yards primarily through their passing game. In contrast, in their most recent game, the Dolphins showcased their ability to run effectively by accumulating 350 rushing yards. On the other hand, the Bills experienced a loss to the Jets in Week 1, during which they allowed Jets running back Breece Hall to rush for 127 yards. However, Hall's performance has declined in subsequent weeks with only 9 yards against the Cowboys and 18 yards against the Patriots. The Dolphins running back duo, currently leading the league in rushing yards and yards per attempt, is expected to exploit weaknesses in the Buffalo defense. The Bills have capitalized on turnovers this season with an impressive 7 interceptions, while Miami's Tua Tagovailoa has committed only 2 interceptions. Miami is likely to prioritize ball security by establishing their running game, which should open up opportunities in the passing game. Josh Allen, the Bills' quarterback, has also experienced his share of interceptions this year and could maintain his average if he throws just 1 interception in this game. In fact, Allen threw 2 interceptions in a postseason game between these two teams last season. This matchup between the top 2 teams in the AFC East promises to be highly competitive with multiple lead changes expected. Miami was considered the underdog in each of their 3 games against Buffalo last season. However, they not only covered the spread in each of those matchups, but also secured an outright victory in one of them. With a healthy and fast Miami team, they are poised to emerge victorious in this high-scoring contest in New York. Our team pick is Miami plus 3 points. As mentioned earlier, both Miami and Buffalo lead in most of the scoring categories in the NFL this season. Both of their offensive efficiency metrics have allowed them to sustain drives and score frequently. Miami has allowed an average of 23.66 points per game, but they gave up 34 to the Chargers. The Bills have been stingier, giving up only 11.6 points per game. However, Buffalo hasn't faced a dynamic offense like that of the Dolphins yet this season. These teams have averaged 63 points in their last 2 matchups, including the Tagovailoa-less wildcard game last season. Miami's offense will continue to be potent, and the Bills will look to match their intensity and drive. Expect this game to go over the 54-point line and enjoy the shootout. Our total pick is over 54 points. Moving on to our second game of the evening, we have the Cincinnati Bengals facing off against the Tennessee Titans. Cincinnati's defense showcased an impressive performance on Monday, holding the Los Angeles Rams to under 300 yards of total offense, 292. They were particularly effective against the run, allowing only 71 rushing yards. On the offensive side, Joe Burrow displayed resilience by playing through an obvious injury and connected effectively with his favorite target, Jamar Chase, who had an outstanding game with 12 catches for 141 yards. In contrast, the Tennessee Titans had one of their worst offensive showings in franchise history last Sunday. They managed to score only 3 points against the Cleveland Browns, and their overall offensive output was a dismal 94 yards. This marked just the 5th time in franchise history that they failed to reach the 100-yard mark in offense, indicating that the Titans are grappling with multiple offensive issues. Brian Tannehill's performance has been subpar, ranking 30th out of 34 qualifying quarterbacks in passer rating with a meager 67.7. Star running back Derrick Henry was significantly limited, accumulating only 20 rushing yards on 11 carries against Cleveland. Furthermore, wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins has been averaging slightly over 50 receiving yards per game and has yet to score a touchdown in a Titans uniform. Despite the Cincinnati Bengals not yet securing their first ATS against the spread win this season, standing at 0-2-1 ATS, they appear to be the stronger team in this matchup. Our team pick is the Cincinnati Bengals minus 2.5 points. Both offenses are playing below average, with the Bengals scoring just 15.3 points per game, while Tennessee is scoring only 15.0 points per game. Both teams are allowing 22.3 points per game. Tennessee is averaging only 240 yards of total offense, while Cincinnati averages just 244.3 yards of total offense. The total has finished under in 4 of the Bengals' last 5 games and in 5 of the Bengals' last 6 on the road. The total has also finished under in 6 of Tennessee's last 7 games. Our total pick is under 43 points. In our third and final game, the Washington Commanders are facing off against the Philadelphia Eagles. We are taking the Eagles to cover the spread in this game for a couple of reasons. Philadelphia has quickly established themselves as one of the top teams in the league, while the Commanders have shown promise but were exposed in their recent 37-3 loss to the Bills. The Eagles have the advantage of playing at home and are well positioned to exploit the Commanders' weaknesses, particularly on the offensive line. Washington's offensive line has struggled, allowing 9 sacks in the last game, and facing the Eagles' strong defensive front does not bode well for them in this matchup. On the defensive side of the ball, the Commanders have talented pass rushers and a solid defense, but the Eagles boast one of the best offensive lines in the league, and Jalen Hurts adds an additional dimension with his mobility. Anticipate the Eagles taking an early lead and using their running game to secure the victory. When looking at recent trends, the Eagles are 2-0-1 against the spread this season, whereas the Commanders are 1-2 against the spread. Our team pick is the Philadelphia Eagles minus 8.5 points. The Eagles enter their upcoming game at home against the Commanders as 8.5-point favorites. This seems more than fair given how the Eagles have looked in their first couple of games, with strengths on both sides of the ball. They have been effective in running the ball and passing when needed, with talented receivers like A. Brown and Devonta Smith. DeAndre Swift has been a valuable addition to the backfield, and their defense, particularly the defensive front, has been outstanding. Expect the Eagles to perform well at home and likely cover the spread. Taking the under in this game also makes sense for a couple of reasons. The total opened at 45.5 points and has since moved down to 43 points, indicating sharp action on the under. Both teams rely heavily on the running game, and the Eagles' defense matches up well against the Commanders. Washington struggled to move the ball and score against the Bills, who have a similar defense that excels at limiting the run game. Expect the Commanders to struggle to move the ball downfield and for the Eagles to score enough points to cover the spread. Our total pick is under 43 points.